Okay, for this next example, we're going to look at correlation and graphing the line of best fit on the TINspire. First thing again, remember you go to the home button. On the home button, you're going to choose lists and spreadsheets. We're going to type in our heading for a year, and over here we're going to type in our cost. Now down below we're going to list our data values, so I'm going to type in 1970 for the first year, and I'm going to put an equation in so I can scroll down and complete the remaining years. So if I put in A1 equals to A1 plus 1 plus 5, we're going to go up by, and of course I can go down and highlight cells and you can see that it'll fill down, similar to Excel. Excel, you have to drag the right corner, so it's fairly similar. Now I'm going to put in some data values. 38 given, 39, same data values for the TI-83 instructions, 41, 45, 47, and 49. Okay. Now we're going to look at how we find correlation. I just lost my values, just move up here. So if I want to find correlation for the information here, what I can do is, first of all, I want to go to menu, and in menu you want to choose statistics and then correlation or correction. Statistics, and then what you're going to look for is stat calc, and then you're going to choose one of the regressions. You can see here you have linear regression, particularly we want to use A plus BX, quadratic regression, cubic, quartic, whatever best fits your scatter plot, that's what you're going to use. Here we're going to look at a linear regression. So here I'm going to hit linear. Now you can see it says X list. What this is looking for is it's looking for the values or the heading year for my X list. So I'm going to hit my button where I'm going to scroll down, my click pad button, and I'm going to choose year for the X values. Then I'm going to go down to the Y values. On the graphing calculator that you have, if you're using a actual graphing calculator, you're going to have to tap down. Be the best way to do this. Now I'm going to choose the Y values. That's going to be under cost, and F1 just means where it's going to put the function in relation to that particular set of values. Don't worry about that at this point. Frequency, frequency list is 1, not of any major concern. First results column, column C. Column C will have the description of the particular values or results that you get. So for example, if you get your correlation coefficient or coefficient correlation, that is your R value, and of determination, that's your R square value. So it'll list that there, but in column D it'll have the actual answers. So now we hit OK. Now you can see, as I stated in column C, it actually has the values for the equation. It's linear. You have the A value, which is the slope, the B value, which is the y-intercept, and if you scroll down you have the R squared value in R. Has the residual too, but we'll look at the residual another way. And you can see our R squared value for a linear representation of the scatter plot is 0.97. So as you know, that's a strong correlation, and of course R is really what we want because the R value is specific to linear correlations, and that's 0.98, so that's still a strong correlation. Again, the R value is specific to linear correlations. R squared is to non-linear mainly. Okay, so this is where you have your values. You can see I have the actual answers in the D column, and in C, as I mentioned, it has a description of each answer. Okay, A, B, R squared, and R. Now, if you want to graph this equation, or graph the line, the scatter plot, and the line of best fit, again, you're going to have to go to Home, and as you remember, we're going to choose Data and Statistics, and we're going to scroll down to Click Year, and we're going to put in the year on the horizontal axis, of course, those are the X values, and on the vertical axis we're going to put in the cost, and you can see it graphs the scatter plot. Now, as you know, you want to graph a line of best fit, so we go back to Menu, and of course we're going to look at putting in a particular plot. So we go to Analyze, number 4, and then down to Regression, and we put in a linear regression, so we'll choose linear here, and you can see our line. There's our equation in relation to that line, has a slope of 0.474286, and then X, and then negative 897.0105 is the y-intercept. Okay, so these are kind of written backwards. Okay, so really your equation should be equal y equals 0.474286 x minus 897.105, and that is graphing a scatter plot, finding the line of best fit, and locating the correlation.